I feel very self-conscious. That's how I feel. Because I look at it's like when you're at self-checkout, but it's a much better angle than the self-checkout.
Yeah.
Yes.
The self.
It's more flattering.
Probably better equipment too.
People always fart during this, or that's what makes the self-checkout better for me, is that like I don't have to be as close to people, because I always get stuck in line with someone, and then like behind me there will be a very smelly person. There'll be like a very smelly person comes up walking behind me.
Thank you.
Come on, Pete. I told you I would bathe more. You know, you have to bring it up.
Why do you always talk about your bathing practices with everyone I put you in front of? You know,
Do you
it's just
always talk about people stinking?
Jesse's. He's just like a regular bathtub boy. What can I say?
No, shower, no bathtub.
Shower first, then bathe. For like enjoyment. Don't bathe for cleanliness, because like you're just sitting in the dirt.
That's
water.
why I don't bathe.
Yeah.
I never understood the
Shower,
premise behind
like you
it.
should shower, you know, before you get in the hot tub, because like that water's touching everyone's buttholes, so, you know, yeah.
Oh, well,
Ugh.
I don't know,
I
I
said
mean,
that,
like-
I'm not getting in the hot tub.
I feel like
Have you read on community hot tub, like, there's a lot of yuck.
Tell us more.
Hot tub folliculitis.
Ooh,
Do you know what folliculitis is?
that's like just the hair follicles getting infected, right?
It's an infection of the hair follicle, and it's gross, and it's like the number one thing that you can get. So you do not want to shave. You probably don't, like women don't want to shave right away, because then you're leaving all of your follicles wide open, and like so many people like don't bathe before they get in there, so you just assume that they're not, and it's just soup of. And because it's warm, like the pool, you're much safer because it's colder. But
Yeah.
the warmer, the more bacteria
I clean hot tubs as my side job. That's what I do. Is I drive around this van and
Gross.
scrub the tubs, and it is really gross. And then like, but the thing is like I don't know, when you do your chemicals right, you know, it's just like killing everything, and then it
Yeah.
gets caught in that filter, you know.
That's what I don't get. So like when like water goes from like our sewage system, and then they treat it, like you turned brown water clear, and
Yeah.
you made us drink it again. And how did you do it? And is that okay? Like,
I'm never getting in a hot tub again.
Yeah.
but
Never.
yeah, cool.
Yeah. Do you do the ice water dunking ever?
I've done just like my face,
Just your
because
face.
I one of those like lizard people who's always cold, and I don't want to be cold ever, and I can't get hot enough. So I know I've heard like amazing benefits, but I did the face, and I was able to work up to like, I don't know, 45 seconds, but it was like 5 seconds the first time, and it hurts. But they said if you're gonna do anything, I guess the face was like the most. And then you could go to like your whole head. I didn't ever get there.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be really good for your skin too.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of why I started. I was like, well, I'm vain. Let's try that. But then I can't stick to a routine. So.
Yeah, just all around.
Do you do that?
Oh, I wish, man.
No cold plunging for you?
No, I want to
Jesse?
though.
No.
I feel like
it started out as like a challenge, like pouring ice cubes on your friends, and I guess it had a charity link, and then it became like jumping into tubs of icy cold water, just jumping on in, and it's become an obsession now.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
a lady that owns a farm, and her two YouTube videos are her working on the farm and her jumping in the ice cold bath.
Does she have the little boy in like a little bucket next to her where he likes to get in and pretend he's doing it too with just a few ice cubes, or not?
I think this particular one is single. I know her like husband just
Everybody's
died,
doing it.
and I've never seen a kid on her videos, but she swears by it. She wants everybody to do it.
No, so there was a study that said that I don't know how long you have to cold plunge for, but it raises your dopamine levels times like 9, which is the same as cocaine. No. The number 9, I'm getting it. Okay, it raises your dopamine levels a lot, as much as cocaine would. It makes you feel that great. Cocaine peaks after 9 minutes, and then it goes down. That's why people want to do it all night long. Whereas that was like 2.5 hours, it kept you at that level of invigoration. So
I might have to
like
try this.
that's what I'm saying. That is a motivator for some. But I never liked cocaine the times that I did it, so I probably won't like the cold plunge.
Okay, yeah,
'Cause
that's.
I have ADHD, so it's like, why do I want to be brought down? Like in my 20s, a few times, like I tried it. I was like, I don't like this. I don't get it. But it was when you're so drunk and you can't walk and you're just too fucked up, like a little bit, and it was like, okay, we're good. That was, I could see that it would be beneficial.
Yeah.
You know, for like medicinal.
I feel like everyone who uses cocaine doesn't like it. They're just doing line after line, like, why am I doing this? I hate this, I hate me, and give me another one.
It's when the sun has come up, that's when you feel that I hate me.
Yeah.
You're like, oh God, I did it. And why did I do that? And then
a whole sleep cycle just skipped, and like regular life, you're just like, wow, I'm really tired, I need more sleep anyways, but you skip a whole sleep cycle, you're like, oof.
I don't know, I always just felt like when I had to re-enter society the next day, I just felt like a piece of shit and just gross. And like I was also a pastor's kid growing up, so it's just the guilt. But I never felt good afterwards, and I didn't generally like look at the people afterwards and think, wow, these are a really great group of individuals to be spending my time with. So
I just didn't like how expensive it was.
I'm a girl, I didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
It was a few times.
I
could probably count on both hands. It was, I tried enough times to know, it didn't, I'm good.
I was always into uppers. I liked uppers.
Well, they make
Pick
me
one.
feel usually like I think what normal people
And
feel like.
who wants that, right?
Well, no, because it was when I started taking diet pills, because I used to be actually like, my doctor told me I was obese. I was like, thank you.
What an asshole.
No, it was my midwife, and it's like, she's like, you're not going to get diabetes on my watch. I needed to hear it, but
backhanded.
When I started getting diet pills, I was like, oh, this is like, I think this is how normal people feel. Like, I feel really good.
Yeah.
And it turns out, because I never was medicated for the ADHD as a kid, so I didn't know what meds could do. And then when you it's meth that I'm prescribed now for ADHD, so it was like, no wonder I like the diet pills, right? Because they did make me feel like a normal, quote unquote, but normal for someone who was supposed to like sit still and like operate in a normal society.
Well, I went to school with a kid that was ADHD, and they would prescribe him Adderall, and for him it calmed him down. But the rest of us that weren't ADHD, it was like meth.
That's why you can apparently someone told me, like, I don't know, $80 a pill. I was like, that can't be right. But I was like, you know what? I bet people, maybe because fentanyl's so prevalent, they're like, if I just get an Adderall, maybe it's safer. I don't know.
Well, anything's safer than fentanyl.
I'm like, I need my Adderall. I don't want to sell my Adderall. It's...
Damn it.
No, they used to give him like 10 times more than he needed, so he just cut off the top to the rest of us.
Yeah.
He was making bank, so he didn't care.
Yeah, it's helpful. I went like a year without it recently, and I thought I was doing pretty well, and then I was kind of just informed by like everyone around me. I was like, oh, I'm not doing as good as I am. So I got back on, and like
I like the idea of like sake, or I think it's like sake rules, right? Where it's like you can't ask for it, someone else has to give it to you, you know?
What do you mean?
When you take shots of sake, you're not allowed to pour yourself a shot.
Oh, you're not?
Supposed to...
Oh,
no, it's a Japanese
so
thing.
many times. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like the Tomodachi rule. So I think like with Ozempic, you know, like it's like you can't be like, hey, can I get some Ozempic? But that someone else has to be like, hey, would you like Ozempic? And you're like, I've been waiting all day, thank you, please.
I thought you'd never ask.
Yeah.
Let's go to St. Joe's, they give you anything there.
Wait, though, I feel robbed that no one ever taught me this before drinking sake, and all the sake bombs they took at all these sushi bars, and no one tells you these things. What the hell?
Oh, it's more of a thing in Japan, really.
But we should know what
It's
we're
just,
doing.
you're a
with
guest,
the
so you
stuff we're
shouldn't have to
consuming.
pour your own sake. I, as your host, should do it for you.
Oh, so basically you just don't give a fuck.
But the
where
problem
I
with
live-
it
where we
is,
live now, 'cause-
you don't get to drink till I pour it for you.
Oh,
So if I don't do that right away, you're waiting to drink.
okay.
So Americans might have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But what got you into comedy, Stephanie?
Mushrooms.
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 Hey.
Well, okay. I mean, obviously, people at one point in your life have told you you're funny, right? Or you don't do it. But no, it was like I had quit drinking alcohol for a while there, which I still pretty much do. I have like a couple every once in a while. But anywho, mostly California sober lifestyle. Just tripping on mushrooms one day, and then, you know, something tells you, someone, something, God, whoever, hey, you gotta start doing stand-up comedy. And you're like, that's awesome. How do I begin? And then, you know, you just get on Facebook and see if there's anything going in your area. I'm like, oh, there are some open mics.
And then you find Dan McGowan.
He was not the first person I found.
Okay.
Do you know Robin Brennan?
I haven't met Robin.
Okay, so she moved to San Francisco, but she had a couple open mics going in town. So I saw one and I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna message her, like, can I come to the open mic? She's like, yes, I'll put you on the list. And I was like, cool, thanks. And then I was like, oh shit, I have to come up with something to say tonight in front of people.
That's the wrong order.
And I was like, okay, but I knew that I needed to just do it blindly before I got a chance to get in my head and like talk myself out of it, you know? And I had done like, you know, theater growing up, choir. I performed in front of people. Like, I'm not uncomfortable doing that. However, this is just like you coming up with your own word, like, I hope people like me, right? So I wrote down just a couple of topics that I thought were funny, and I just brought my notebook up there and like just started talking. People laughed. People came up to me afterwards, said I had done well. I started just going to all the comedy shows that I could in our town and making friends with people. And do you know Kylie? Kylie Does It All?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I had gone to this all-women's show that Robin had put on. And
Can you give me a spot on that one?
what do you mean, what?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, the women's show? But anyway, Kylie, you can shut me up at any time.
No,
She
you're the guest.
was like she just really stood out, right? And she is a prostitute, and she was talking about her work. And I'm like, is this a character? Is this no way this person's actually talking and making jokes about prostitution, right? And there's a taco shop next door to the comedy club, or it's not a comedy club, it was a brewery after the comedy show. So there's the only place to eat afterwards. We go sit down, she comes in. I was like, hey, come sit with us. And we got to talking, and she was the one that said, you need to take the comedy class in town, which is then how I was directed to Dan McGowan, who reminds me so much of my dad.
I think you'd be really surprised what people feel free to share when you stick a mic in front of them.
Oh, I just loved it. I was like, all you're saying is all real stuff. I was like, we're going to be friends. Like, because when we also just sat down and like talked about, because she just got like her adult autistic diagnosis, and so did I. And so we like had the most, my boyfriend was just watching us have, in his opinion, the most weird conversations. Like, you guys do not break eye contact the whole time. Like, no, it's because it's all the eye contact or it's like none of it. And just, he's on, what language are you guys speaking? You were talking over each other the whole time. Like, it's the ADD, it's the autism, blah, blah. And we just really clicked. And I was like, I just like that you're very, very open and transparent, and I don't have to wonder what I'm getting with you. Like, I know what I'm getting with you, and I don't have to wonder, like, are you a bad are you this? Like, you're putting all of your bad shit out there for the world. And when you used to be on drugs and all the thing, and so I was like, I like people like that. Just be who you are and let me see. If you're an asshole, just be the best asshole you can be, and like, I'll probably still like you.
Yeah, Pete.
For being authentic. Just be authentic. That's all I want from people. I hate when people present like they're a nice guy and then they're like a snake.
Tell them.
Right? But yeah, so
my favorite saying is that's Mr. Asshole to you.
Who? You?
Well, yeah, that's what I tell people when they call me an asshole.
Mr.
Mr. Asshole. I don't care what you call me. Better be a Mister.
He's trying to get married. He's trying to get married to an asshole. You know, it's sort of like getting married to a pocket pussy, but he's just trying to. That's all he's interested in. He doesn't want to hear anyone talk. He doesn't want to.
Now you know my role on the podcast.
No, Jesse's been my whipping post for a minute. Shit, I've been like just for hours sometimes. I just make fun of him. It's really fun. You should try it actually. I know. Roast Jesse. Feel free.
I don't know you well enough yet to judge you and roast you.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I met people that judge me in the first second they meet me.
I'll let you know when I get there.
It's all good. It's all good.
Sound effects!
There we go.
Is that to cover up a fart?
I think
Yes, yes.
Because that's what I would do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When I was a hairdresser, you're like, oh, I gotta grab the blow dryer really quick. And,
Oh
or
my
like,
god.
Oh, you're blow drying someone's hair, you're like, just like, you know, and just go, I gotta go mix up some toner in the back.
There's so much performance involved in being a stylist and a hairdresser and stuff that doesn't. I mean, because you're being paid to cut someone's hair, and that's really like that's all that you're being paid to do. But then if you do anything weird or wrong or out of the ordinary, it affects your tip. It affects whether they're happy about the experience. You're like, dude, listen, like I should be able to show up dressed however I want, smelling however I want, doing whatever I want. Because when the plumber comes to your house to work on your plumbing, they're just however they want to look, doing whatever they're doing. But then meanwhile, like you're being all showcased and you have to look perfect. And it's so much, and some people love that performative beauty, I'm sure, but.
So when you first start off, for sure it was like that. And whenever I would take on a new client, I made sure that I looked like I knew what I was doing in the profession. Like I need to do my makeup, I need to do my hair, I need to wear real clothes. But once you've been doing it for 20 fucking years and you have the same clients and you're all just buddies and you're smoking weed together and you get to wear your pajamas to work and you don't need to wear makeup anymore, it's really nice. That was nice. But like it took years to weed through. And like these people who are just energy suckers and like they use you as a counselor and like they tell you all their problems. And if you have a good balance of people who are like, I get to tell you my problems too though. Yeah. And then like it's got to be reciprocal. But
I'd be a good client. I just want somebody to color my beard and that's it.
Yeah. I switched to men's grooming in the last 3 years. I mean, I just quit recently. I was like, I'm fucking done. But in the last 3 years I tried to fix it by doing barbering. Because I was like, I'm getting really, really burned out in this profession. I always wanted to get my barber license. Like, let's go back to school. And I was really excited for and men are so much easier to deal with. Because it's like, they're just simple. They don't unload as much shit on you. Like, I am there. It is nice a lot of times. They're like, I like having a lady barber. I can talk to you about my wife and like, you can give me advice and like, but what was so great about the salon I was at is all these women who've been coming to us for years like, oh my God, you can do my husband's hair now. Oh my God, please trim his nose hairs. Oh my God, get his ear hair. He has a fucking unibrow. Do you do balls? Do you do balls? Will you trim his balls? I'm like, no, I'm not a ball barber.
Well, they act like it's more difficult than it actually is, but I mean like.
And like with men, no matter what, like even when I first started, I wasn't that good. They'll still tip you more because you're a girl, and then they just like kind of feel bad, I think. And like,
no.
So
they want to sleep with you. That's why they're tipping.
Well, that too.
Heavy.
But like you have, it's like, I mean, a lot of my clientele was like the other guys' wives, but like it doesn't hurt that you're a female, okay? Like doing barbering, it doesn't hurt your tips at all. And like they always say how men get paid more to do the same job. I'm like, no, I got paid more because of tips. It's in like, okay, a lot of barbershops don't even have shampoo bowls, I found out. And I'm like, no, the shampoo with the fake nails. And like,
you need that.
It's good. And you put like, they just put a little powder on their neck with the brush and they're just like, oh, a lady touched me. And like, no, it's just.
My wife won't do it.
Well, okay.
Gotta get it somewhere.
No, okay, for instance, I'm not getting dirty, but okay, in the Great Depression, hairdressing, barbering, it was one of the few professions that survived during that time because, you know, everybody lost jobs, nobody had money. Because of community needing to gather, people needing to, you know, talk at the barber shops, this and that. But also sometimes, if you live alone, your hairdresser is the only person who gives you any physical touch besides like your, you know, animals and things.
Yeah.
And like it's necessary. Like, you know, they did studies with babies where they just left them, they fed them and changed them but didn't touch them. And then these babies started to die. And they had to stop the study because you need human touch interaction.
They had to stop saying they were doing the study, probably.
Yeah, that's what happened. But in turn, like, you know, touch can be like healing, but if it is like there's energy suckers out there. So like if you're talking to people all day and touching them all day, like you are drained sometimes. So you have to find the right clientele that like helps energize you and build you up at the same time. And it's like I had like the perfect mix of people, and all my clients were my favorite clients, but then I was just getting really burnt out on the hair, and the carpal tunnel was getting worse, and I was like, I love all of you, but I have to break all of your hearts and my own, and I'm just done. And I'm so relieved. And now I'm like, okay, I'm just a comedian now, and like, not, you know, it's like starting all over in hair where you're doing people's hair for free. Because you just want to like do something, and you're like, okay, just buy the chemicals and I'll bleach your hair. And so it's like, yes, I'll do your comedy show for free. Yes, let me do this. Like, because you just have to start off. And I'm like, I feel like a little ass kid again, where you're just like starting all over, and you're like, oh my God, I'm in this new thing and I don't know what I'm doing. But I was self-employed for a long time, so that did help, because like I know, you know, who I want to deal with business-wise, this, that, the other, blah, blah.
So like you started comedy kind of recently. Do you have any like, what's like the biggest show you've been on, biggest crowd, any time that you really bombed? What's your favorite?
Okay. Wait, one question at a time.
I have 12 more.
First question.
Okay, so how long have you been doing comedy?
About a year and a half.
Okay.
But that was just starting at open mics. I've been doing shows for 1 year next month.
How long did you initially do comedy before someone's like, hey, can I put you on a show?
About 6 months. Well, okay, I took Dan's class in like December's 2 months, October. Like 2 months after we graduated our comedy class, someone was like, let's put you in my show. And then I started doing shows at my salon. Like I had friends who like knew how to produce shows. They're like, let's do one at your salon. And then that kind of showed me how to do that and what like a model would look like. And then I had a host that had to bail, and then I had to like host something half with someone else, and I'd never hosted before, and I was like, okay, let's just fucking do it. It was a 420 show, luckily, so like everybody, we got to smoke inside the salon. The owner of the salon got to bake pot cookies, and she's like, yeah, let people smoke. We got a videographer in there. Like,
that's the coolest thing ever. How did I miss hearing that? I would love to have been on that show. It was fun.
We had, you know, Jonathan Zadok from Manchester. He came down, he played, but we don't have so few black people in town, and this, you know, lovely black gentleman shows up with all these dreads, and he's like, I want to thank you for what you're doing around here, and this is so great, and I'm one of the first people to throw a 420 party. This is awesome. And I was like, okay, I guess I produce shows now. And I did them monthly at the salon. We would shut it down on a Saturday nights they weren't open. And then my client, I do everybody's hair in town, everyone who owns businesses, and she had purchased one of the local, you know, bars and grills in town. And so a year after she got it, she's like, I want to start doing live entertainment. Let's start getting your comedy in there. And so I'm really lucky that way that like I know everybody because I've done all of their hair for so long.
Let's get down to the dirt. Has Pete put you on a show yet?
Last night.
Yeah.
Yes. The Wave Lounge.
Yeah, where were you, Jesse?
Yeah.
I was covering your ass at karaoke is where I was.
How'd that go, by the way? Because typically...
It got a little late of a start, but then it went like really well.
Oh, nice. Just no one started at like 8, or everyone showed up at 8.
Everyone, yeah, pretty much.
Exciting.
7:30ish, 8ish.
Exciting story, Jesse. Nothing happened? You didn't instigate any sort of conflict or anything?
No, I didn't beat anybody up or cause any trouble or...
Wasn't that what you were getting paid to do?
I'm not getting paid to do squat. I'm not even getting paid to do this.
Don't worry, we'll double it
I
next
just
year.
zoned out.
Yeah, I thought
What were you talking about to him? He said I don't get paid to do squat, but I zoned out.
Oh, he was doing the karaoke DJing last night here.
Oh.
Well, helping do that.
Yeah.
Nico was involved.
Is that the Kara Smokey?
Kara Smokey.
I gotta share Smokey.
Comedy Kara Smokey.
Comedy Kara Smokey. Yeah, so I was like, that looks fun. People need to do that.
I'm way better at making flyers than getting people to actually show up sometimes. So it's like these beautiful flyers. You're like, of course.
Those can take a while.
Dude, yeah.
But they're fine if you get stoned and you're just like, I want to make a flyer. You get really detailed.
We did a lot of that.
So where do you do, are you doing it?
Downstairs here.
Okay.
In the lounge.
There's a weed lounge. We should probably go and smoke a joint in there at the end of this, if you guys are into it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys are in town, right? How's your stay in town, by the way? Do you want to like come on at all? Yeah,
Do you want to come on the way?
We have. Yeah. It's fun to watch. We made a little nook for visitors in the studio.
Are you filming for content? I get me. Give me a good angle. Don't make my arm look wide.
We've got like the green screen going, so we can literally put you anywhere, you know. And that means like anything we put in front of the green screen, we can put anywhere else.
Friday mornings, my head's in the way.
We can do like oh yeah, that's fine. I knew we were getting
Friday earnings.
Friday mornings. Friday.
What is a Friday?
That's funny because you have green on your hat, and so it's seeing straight through your head.
It's a black pot leaf and not a green pot.
You have a green part of the flag, though.
Mm.
I don't know. It's funny.
How is it putting us all together?
Oh yeah, right? Isn't that crazy?
The magic of technology.
It's,
Am I in his screen now? Okay.
Yeah. I listed Jesse as an old man. We have.
That is observant.
Possible Minnesotan and an old man.
Sometimes they sound a little Minnesotan.
So what are you? What are you?
Oh, what am I?
What are you possibly?
35
allegedly.
years old.
35
years old.
You're fucking old.
I remember when I was 35.
I don't.
No.
Jesse's not even 35.
I don't remember anything before 40.
That's my younger brother.
Life begins at 40. It's all right.
He was exposed in the Chernobyl incident. That's my younger brother. That's what happened.
Have you heard about the
Don't
Chernobyl?
make Osmodeus smite you.
There's like Chernobyl mushrooms or Chernobyl mycelium, Chernobyl fungi that is absorbing the toxic waste and like it's new.
Someone's got him.
Like it's growing.
I hope so.
It's growing in radiation, and it's like they think they might be able to use it to help, like
undo
the toxic.
A lot of uses.
I also heard there was some sort of, I don't want to call it a bacteria, but like how we have microorganisms in our soil, and that there's something that's going to help eat the plastic up or something.
No, just more mycelium.
Probably because mushrooms are everything.
Dude, I love mushrooms so much. You ever smoke DMT?
No.
Wait a minute. Let's go back to mushrooms.
Is that synthetic?
Huh?
Is that synthetic? Like, is DMT a synthetic?
Oh, it's
man-made
it's
chemical.
Like, it's the thing that gets released in your brain when you die.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's basically it's in everything. It's like DMT.
Like there's natural, but there's man-made too, right?
Yeah, I think. And so you take like Mimosa hostilis bark, and then you run it through like this DSMO, or maybe not. I forget what it's called. There's some acronym, and then but basically it comes out as DMT, and then when you smoke it, you trip super hard. It's crazy. It's some crazy stuff.
So I had a friend do it, and it really made me not want to do it after she told me what happened to her.
Oh yeah, it's an intense trip too.
And here's my thing. So thank you, Jesse. Hold on. The first time someone got me drunk, right? Like no one was like, have one beer and see how you feel. It was like, take 6 shots.
Yeah.
And then you're puking. And then the first time someone got me stoned, I got way too stoned and I got hella paranoid and I was freaking out. So I didn't start doing mushrooms till my 30s, late 30s. And I told myself, I was like, just take a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And so I asked my friend what a little bit was, and I took half of that amount.
Yeah.
And I still was like, whoa. And I was at a Dirty Heads and Sublime with Rome concert. And it was like right when I was first exploring California sobriety. I was like, I've never been to a concert not drunk. How am I going to have fun? How am I not going to feel weird in a crowd and like overstimulated? And I won't dance and let loose because I dance really white and shitty. But when you're drunk, you just don't care. It's not like it gets better. You just don't care. And I'm like, how do I not care? I don't know. So I'm like, I want something. Plus, that's just like, they cater those concerts for people on trips. It's like those big screens and it's like swirly. And
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard
And
the new theory on
it was
consciousness?
Which one?
So
Go for it. Go for
millions
it.
of years ago, when we were still apes, we ventured out into the forest and we found these little mushrooms. We ate them and therefore gained consciousness. And the theory is the only reason why we have it now is years and years ago these apes ate mushrooms.
Is there an ashtray?
Just anything non-flammable. I'll get it later.
Okay, so is that kind of like
yeah, there is
the,
an
it was like a
ashtray, so-
red mushroom? Like, you know how in fairy
Well,
tales
they
the
didn't-
typical red mushroom with the polka dots, so then some people say like that's like the red apple that Eve ate, it's the apple of consciousness, or like in like whatever, you know.
They didn't get into
Knowledge.
specifics.
But yes,
read
I've
an
heard-
article. but
I think I've heard this one too. There's so many.
allegedly, we'd just be dumb apes if they hadn't eaten those mushrooms.
Jesse, can you like do a monologue about like sometime you got way too tripped out? Did you ever do way too much mushrooms or LSD? Can you tell us about it for like a 5-second segment?
So my brother introduced me to his chem major friends, and I had found a formula for LSD in a book. And I told them that I'd pay their chem fees if they took me some. So I had these Visine bottles full of liquid L25, and I used to hit them right in my eye, because it would go through the optic
What
nerve
the
to the
fuck?
brain, and then you wouldn't have to wait 20 minutes to come
Oh.
on.
Just put it in your butthole.
Well, one day I did like 5 in each eye, and that was probably a couple of thousand micrograms, which is like more than any human being should be experimenting with.
Just didn't make it in your eye.
Can't tell you much of what I did that weekend, but I'm pretty sure I had a lot of fun doing it.
Do you just see like a kaleidoscope if you put that shit in your eye? I mean, I've never taken LSD. Is it like shrooms?
Well, light does have an effect, like, in your peripheral vision, it'll make light pulse. And then it, if you have different colored lights, that can mess with you a little bit. It's kind of like mushrooms, but a little more intense.
See, I don't want to do man-made stuff anymore. Like, I've tried, like, I did Molly once, and then I found out that's actually really, like, Molly, ecstasy stuff, like, that's not good for people who suffer from depressional things sometimes,
I can
because
see that.
it takes all of your dopamine at once and releases it, so you have none left, and then, like, you go into, like, severe depressional state. I was like, yeah, I didn't know I was bipolar back then. I mean, we thought there's something wrong for sure, but we didn't know what it was.
Something wrong for sure.
But so I did that one time and I'm like, I don't want to do that. And so now I'm just like, I just want plants, like if I could grow a coca plant and make tea,
Yeah.
that would be great. I don't think we need to process it and I watched a show on how they process cocaine. There was like diesel fuel involved.
Yeah.
So also how
That's what separates the...
we make, I don't know how they make dab, but like, is that not
I make
condensing
dabs.
the weed down to a drug now?
And
And now my tolerance is so
I can't-
goddamn high. And here, I'm the middleman.
I appreciate it. There's really long headphone cords in here for this reason too.
Just so we can smoke.
I used to make dabs. That was actually my job. I used to get paid to be like
Explain the
a
process.
professional like laboratory person.
What is the dab?
It was for Loyal Oil Company for Emerald Family Farms when I was still a company in town. And we used to get like, how many pounds would fit in a tube? 5-7 pounds of trim would fit into a tube. And then you'd fill it all up with butane from one end, or you'd pull all the air out, and then you would fill it with butane. And then you'd squirt that through, and then
Sounds
the
sketchy.
butane would break down the oil.
I don't like this.
And then you would heat up the butane
Chapstick.
and reclaim it.
Emily, my lips are chapped. Can you get me chapstick? Sorry, go ahead.
The assistant was included in her rider, But yeah, we used to make like 40 pounds of hash oil for dabs a week. It was worth a lot more money then. It was really fun and cool too. I felt like a rebel because I was getting paid a bunch of money to do stuff you don't go to college to do.
Yes.
The price goes down
Yeah.
when everybody's doing it.
Was there ever an accident involving butane or explosions or things?
Somehow, not on my watch, though. At the end of the day, yeah, it never happened, but it's still a very scary environment to be in, and we were just like super safety aware because it's explosively combustible, so that means when it ignites, it explodes outward instead of just setting on fire. It also explodes by being set on fire, which is different than just being combustible.
So, maybe I should explain the fact that a fire is just breathing off the air. An explosion has a concussion force.
Okay.
That's kind of the difference. So it's not just catching the whole environment on fire. It's producing a force that will break things. And I used to blow stuff up in the military, so you learn these things.
And what branch in the military were you in?
I was in the Air Force.
Oh,
tree
my son
branch.
is in the Air Force.
A tree branch, yes.
The
How
tree
long?
branch.
How long were you in the Air Force?
I was for three and a quarter years.
When?
When? 1980s.
1980s. That's when I was born. Good years.
Fuck, I'm old.
My son is in the Air Force. He is in.
Well, it's probably a very different Air Force than the one I was in.
Was it cushy back then? Because it's so.
You could
cushy.
get away with a lot more
It's
than you
so
probably
cushy.
could now.
I'm
I
not
used
saying
to send
cushy as
hats
I'm
home
squishing my
from
arm.
Europe.
Squishy, squishy.
Some 75 millimeter film
It's
cans
good
full of
beat.
hats.
Sorry.
Oh no, I'm just saying you could get away with shit that you probably can't today.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, just in the 80s in general, people were getting away with a lot of shit. But no, he's like, everyone always said how cushy the Air Force was, and it's totally delivered. And like, you're supposed to, thank you for your service, Jesse, right? You're supposed to thank people for their service. I'm not thanking my son for his service yet because I'm jealous of it because it's so cushy. And he is stationed in Panama City Beach, Florida, on white sand, gorgeous beaches in the Gulf of whatever the fuck we're calling it now. And he got stationed in Qatar for 6 months, and he's like, oh my god, he's like, it's gonna be so hot there. And he's like, oh, he's materials management. He's like, oh my god, the air conditioner is so cold, I had to buy a hoodie. And then he goes to the mall, and he's like, there's like a roller coaster in the mall. It's like a baby Dubai over there. And like, there's, it's just rich, and like, the mall has like a water park and like a lazy river going through it. And I'm like, oh, thank you for your service. You're working so hard. Like, no. He has a private beach on his base that you can walk out to that's just untouched, wild, white ocean. But it's like at your own risk. Alligators, no lifeguards, no rescue available.
Sharks.
At your own, yeah, all of it. I'm like, take me there. You're on a catwalk. Because you have to be up, because there's like bushes and gators and bad things, and so it's a mile-long catwalk that goes out. It looks like the Great Wall of China, and then you go and it's like pristine ocean. There's no fucking boats because it's like they can't get in there, and there's no buildings as far as you can see, and it's like, when do you get to go somewhere that's completely untouched? We're like, how many people in the world get to see that beach? I get to go on it. It was beautiful.
So what does he do for the Air Force?
I'm like, you gotta bring a chick out here. What?
What does he do for the Air Force?
He's in materials management.
Ah.
He's in a warehouse, I guess. And like, it's like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not thanking him for anything yet. I'm sure I'll get to that point. He's thanked me for signing his life away at 17. I'm bogarting this.
Oh, you're good.
But
You know, I had 3 jobs. The very beginning, they had a bunch of ordnance left over from Vietnam that was getting old, and we used to drag them out in the desert and blow shit up. And then I worked security for a while, which is just basically trying to sneak on people's bases and pissing people off and, showing where they're weak. And
Let me show you where you're
killing
weak,
people.
bitch.
Basically the 3 things I did.
All right.
But it was, there was little things in between. We had... what they call them, cultural exchanges. So like some country will send a couple of theirs and we'll send a couple of ours.
Like a foreign exchange
you go to
program?
learn what their country's about and their military, and that was the most fun I had.
Yeah, it's like foreign exchange students in school.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
had Germans.
Just with uniforms. Uniforms and guns.
Okay. There were some Germans on base, where my son said when he was in Qatar. There was a lot of different people.
I'm sure there was some Brits, some Germans, some French.
Cool. This is
In the
strong.
Middle East, you gotta have
Is
friends.
this like coated in?
Yeah, it's infused.
Yeah, it's infused too. Okay. I was like, I have a really high tolerance. What I need this. I need to buy this. Where is this at?
Well, they're for sale downstairs, I'm sure.
Awesome.
Or something very much like it. But yeah,
Where were you stationed?
He's getting lucky. He does what he does. That's all I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, he is. But okay, so the Air Force, I don't know. I feel like the military is predatory with teenagers, as in like, you know how like a teenage boy will tell a girl anything they want to hear to try to get in their pants, right? Like, I'll promise you the world, the moon, the stars, like whatever, da 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 da. When he tested, what's the test you take? ASVAB, whatever, there's a test. They're like, he's tested so high, he's so smart, he's gonna make whatever job he wants, he can have it. Make a wish list of your top 10.
People lie.
Oh yeah, they lie.
People lie. And the more closer they get to the military, the more lies they tell.
Yeah.
Because any recruiter tells you that you scored well enough to do anything, they're lying.
Yep. And people, I've heard this from so many people, they'll promise you the world.
Guarantee it.
But we were going to sign them up for the military regardless, we just, which branch are we going with, you know? And so, it was like, we narrowed it down to like Navy and Air Force, so we went there. So anyway, long story short, he wanted to do, what's the official for bomb squad?
Oh, bomb tech? Yeah.
No, it's like, it's
explosive
not a
ordnance?
thing, it's IED. IUD.
Oh, bomb disposal.
Improvised explosive.
Bomb disposal.
Whatever. Bomb squad is what I'm gonna call it, and they're and so then you have 9 other jobs listed after that, and like you got none because he said when he got to whatever boot camp they do more like testing and stuff on you, and he had too much like anxiety, and I was like, that's totally fair. You don't want like the nervous Nelly on bomb squad, like which wire do I fucking flip?
That'd be fun.
But like you get none of the other 9 jobs. You're not qualified for any of the. Oh, you're in materials management. But as a mother, I'm like, oh, whew, he's in a warehouse, and I get to go visit him in Florida. Yeah. However, there are hurricanes, which I knew, like come, he's on the coast, like that's. Granted, I didn't know the fucking tornadoes get to come to the beach too. I thought those motherfuckers stayed inland more.
Tsunami.
Yeah. And we did a little road trip and we went to New Orleans, and then you can get from New Orleans to Panama City Beach in like 4 hours and go through 3 states or something. And tornado warning on your phone. Bwah, bwah. Seek shelter now. Okay, we live in an area where, like, I live in a mountainous area. There is lots of shelter. This is the flattest area ever. There's no shelter. Fuck you for telling me. That's condescending. Go get shelter. There's none. There's, like, pieces of palm trees flying past your car, golf ball size hail that is cracking the windshield of our tiny-ass rental car. What's the tiniest little Jeep they make? The Renegade? We had that. And it's blowing in the wind. Like the sheets of water are coming down, you can't see shit, and everyone just stops and pulls over the side of the road, and then there's a ditch filling up, and then you're like, we're gonna get blown over the ditch, we're gonna die, we're gonna get carried away.
We're gonna die.
It was so scary. It was horrible. And I was like, no, fuck this, and we're not ever moving here now. And now, do you know that the Florida Keys are on fire?
What?
The Florida Keys are on fire. Look it up.
Oh, they lit it on fire to kill all the pythons.
I don't know. You can't go anywhere now. We're all fucked. And then the people in the jacuzzi last night, remember Emily? Because, we got to the hotel. Within an hour, we were in the pool. We got there, it was sunny still, with a few clouds. It was a storm's a brewing, and like shit's flying. It was darker skies. The guy was in the pool, and he was like saying, there's supposed to be like tornadoes in Seattle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's fucking happening? That's not normal.
It's called climate change.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Obviously
it's changing. Obviously it's changing, but do you think this is just like part of the Earth's natural cycle and we're speeding it up? Do you think we have anything to do with it? Do you think God's pissed? What's up?
At this point, with climate change, we better get really quick, figure out how to move to Mars, because I don't think it's going to get better.
Elon's working on that, right? But it would probably just be him and the other rich people.
There you go. He's just going to take Trump.
But that's why I should have had one of the Elon Musk babies so I could get a ticket on there. I had fucking 5 kids with 3 dads. Like, they're all trash. I didn't get no child support, no help. Like, give me an Elon. And then I had my uterus ripped out.
People that
so
rich
I'm like,
don't pay child
he
support.
could do a robot baby. uterus something.
Yeah, they make new uteruses.
I'll live on the
in
compound
Japan.
with the other moms. Like, I don't want to just hang out with him. And I mean, maybe he's fucking funny. I love how weird he is in public. Just do it. Just be you.
Really, he's trying to take my income, so I think he should die.
Okay, that's fair. I love other people's opinions.
Matter of fact, just line them up right behind Trump and take them both out at the same time.
Okay.
That's a joke, Secret Service. Don't come to my house.
Fun fact, I don't vote. I can't do it. I can't make a choice. I'm too
I want to run for
in the
president,
middle.
and then I want to make every stop a four-way stop.
Every stop before we
Every intersection is now a four-way stop.
There we go.
That's what I want to do.
Take stupid out of the gene pool.
I feel like, okay, how come we can't have a leader that is neutral? Like, you can have
'Cause we're
your
human.
party, you can have your party, but like the leader should be a neutral, like third something, I think, to be fair. Because every year, or they want half the country to hate other half the country because you voted. So I was like, I voted one time, and then it's like, you better not fucking tell anybody who you voted for because you never know who will just hate you based off the fact that you. But I don't even agree with everything that I voted for. How could you ever agree with everything that you voted for in that? It's too one-sided. And so now I'm like, I can't. And
We should have an AI president.
Yeah.
Well, I was
maybe.
talking
I
to-
love my chat GPT.
I was talking to this young kid last night. He was like 22. And I just looked at him and said, good luck, buddy. You're going to need it. Because by the time you get halfway to my age, I'm going to be dead and you're going to be screwed.
Yeah, Jesse's
How old are you,
turning 30.
Jesse?
I'm turning 3. Get it right.
Jesse, how old are you?
Old.
Do you-
I guarantee you I'm the oldest one in this room.
I know you are, but I'm just trying to.
Yeah,
Listen,
you didn't have to say that, Jesse. We can
have-
assume.
I have like lots of clientele, and I enjoy talking to all people, and I really enjoyed older clients. You're telling me you're older. I just try to get a gauge of like how many years of life you've lived and like what experiences that you've experienced, because like I have a woman client who's like 75 and she's very, very concerned about women's rights and things right now and telling girls our age we should be because she's seen shit in the past that went awry and she's starting to see it come back around.
Well, if
So
you
I
want
think
that,
it's,
you need to talk to my mother.
we want advice from people who've lived through prior things. Like, do you see stuff happening now that you've seen happen in the past that it's like, hey, people,
Well,
what's
it should be
going on?
that you mention that because I think about that. You know, it's like my mom was
Hopefully.
born in the 1930s.
Mhm.
So how much of life has she seen? You know, she came the Depression.
She couldn't
you
get
know,
a credit card by herself. till
She was like in her late 20s when the 60s hit. But I was born in mid 1960s.
Okay.
So everything.
I'm like, when were my parents born? Math.
So Jesse's
I have
80.
dyscalculia. I don't math, so I still don't know how.
I could be close to your parents' age.
What year did you graduate high school?
We should just measure men by the length of their testicles, right?
I-
The length of their fucking balls.
Are we
Oh, you're
measured by the
7
length of our
inches.
labia, or what?
Man, by the look of your balls, you should already be dead. You know?
Like,
No,
like
that's-
you mark it on the wall, like when children go higher, your balls just get lower.
That's
and
not-
you just.
Let
That's
me read
not-
your balls to tell your future.
No, you got it wrong. It's not how low they hang, it's how wrinkled they are that defines age.
Well, do you live in a humid climate or not? Because if you,
I try to stay away
skin
from
looks
many,
better,
many.
more hydrated in humid.
I'm unique. I don't really like people in general.
Oh,
There's
really?
a few that I learned to like, but
I like a lot. I just like people mostly. Like, I don't know.
well,
I'm a
let me
people
tell you
person.
another story. So I go in to visit my brother in Oakland. I always go armed, and he doesn't understand that, you know, because he's more middle class and you know has led a troubleless life, you know. So we go to a bar, and I come out of the bar to have a cigarette, and these 3 black guys are across the street, and they're looking right at me, and they're talking to each other, and I know this isn't good. And one of them breaks off, comes across the street, gets in my face, and says, "Are you racist?" Well, how do you answer a question like that? I say, no, they don't believe me, and bad things are going to happen. I say, yes, bad things are definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
So I just looked at him and said, No, I'm not racist. I hate everyone equally. I don't give a fuck what color you are. I hate you all. Brown, black, white, red. You know, that's the only thing I can think of to say. And it probably, you know, it's also, you know, we noticed where my hand was, but it probably just broke it up and kept bad things from happening. I don't like most people. I'm really happy
That's
knowing
honest, I like it.
5 people really well than knowing 50 people kinda.
No, yeah, my friend circle for sure as I've gotten older is tight. Like it gets smaller because, you know, mostly because so many of them have OD'd, honestly, or they're still on drugs and they just can't sit with us now.
Got a few of
But,
those.
what were we saying? No,
No more weed for you.
No, wait, go back
You're
just
cut
a
off.
second. Go back just a second. You don't like that many people.
I don't.
So I don't regularly like hang out with a lot of people, but like when I travel, things like I want to talk to people and I want to see things, and like I don't want to go to the touristy, everybody's doing the same stuff, and I don't want to go to big ass cities. There's just like too much stimulation going on. But like I want to get to know like the real people of the town and the. I just like people.
I don't like large crowds.
I don't
not-
usually either now that I don't have alcohol. It's too, I get my autistic headphones on and just like, no, can't see the voice. Or you just have like your own silent disco going on and like your soundtrack to your life. Like go through an airport with the soundtrack on and I'm like going up an escalator to like Pink Pony Club and I'm like, this is my
What a
own
wonderful
movie. I'm in
track.
a movie and I'm on an escalator and Chaperone singing me up an escalator.
I'm gonna play that song for Jesse after this so you can catch on because it is just such an excellent
With
track.
it's like and you're like just going up an escalator and you're like and then I'm not worried about all this like loud ass talking and all the smells I'm smelling and then like you have to put like a hat on and sunglasses and a hood but you have to put the headphones on over the hood because then the hood covers the headphones and people don't know that you have them on and it's like no fuck you don't talk to me, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I go right to fuck you, don't talk to me.
well you could do
Who
that
the fuck
too.
are you?
I don't even
know
want to have
you.
to say that many words to a person. It's just like, just like don't.
Oh no, I like
But then
starting
people, if you
shit.
show your skin, and they're like, I like your tattoos, and I'm like, I wouldn't. I'm skin, you have skin, cool.
Not so much anymore, but I used to like starting shit a lot.
Yeah, you like a reaction.
Yeah, I used to bounce hard for that very reason.
Oh.
Because I knew sooner or later somebody's going to walk up to me. I'm not a large man, you know. What the fuck are you going to do about it?
You like shut it
I'm
down.
going to shoot you in the fucking foot. That's what I'm going to do about
Ooh,
it.
good
What are you
move.
going to do about that? You know, of course I tend to get punched, but it's worth
I've
it in
never
the
been
end.
punched. I caught it before it hit my face. I had
Whoa.
like reflexes.
Like ninja stuff.
I was like, what? I couldn't even believe it. But then she grabbed me by my hair. I was like, what? I'm like, a knee is coming or something, right? And then she just kind of like.
She jerked you
And
off.
she did. She just
Whoa.
like, she was like just kind of like dragging me around my hair for a second, and then she kind of like threw me up against the wall, and then she just got in my face, and she's like, "I fucking hate you," and then
Well, go hate me somewhere
she
else.
ran off.
That's
Go
a good
hate
story.
me somewhere else.
Do you want to hear the backstory on why that happened, or should we not talk?
No,
should we
it's-
talk about something else?
It's all up to me.
It depends
Does Pete
on.
have what's a topic that he would like to talk about on his own show?
Well,
Can I take a pee break?
Yeah.
Oh, was he telling you it was his show?
What? Yeah. I mean, like.
I'm sorry. No.
He does
said,
that a lot.
He said, "Do you want to go to a podcast today?" And he said, "I'm going to get Jesse."
No, you don't understand.
Yeah,
when
that's
I'm not there,
literally
it's
all.
his show. When I'm there, it's our show.
Yeah. Exactly.
Pete, I feel like Jesse. Let me reword what I just said. I feel like Jesse and I have been talking a lot. Would you like to get in on this
Oh, yeah,
conversation?
isn't it funny?
That's
Jesse-
what I would like to say.
Jesse-
No,
just
usually
loves
I'm
talking.
quiet and he's doing all the time.
Yeah, you're quiet. Jesse has this thing where after we have a guest on that like does a whole story, he just jumps in with his story without even like giving the guest any response to what they just said. Like,
No, I like
do
that style.
No. What that really means is I have to jump in because he never stops talking.
That's. I think
Yeah, today I've never stopped. I haven't said shit.
Today is
So-
a miracle. Today is a fucking miracle.
That's my communication style, though. Is like I don't really care because I'm gonna interrupt you and you're gonna interrupt me, and I love it. And then we're gonna start on a new topic off of that riff, and then it's okay, and that's not rude to me.
He doesn't like it when I do it. He doesn't mind when you do it.
You should try
but he
having-
doesn't like when I do it.
You should try having boobs.
He does.
Yeah, they're not very big, but
Jesse, take your shirt off for the show right now. Let's take your shirt off, Jesse.
do you really want me to start?
Yeah, start taking your shirt off.
We
It
can
looks
get
like he
into
has
something you
multiple
probably don't want to
shirts.
get into on the podcast.
Which shirt are you talking about? I think I see like 5 layers. Oh wait, we have an overall layer.
Yep.
That's what that is.
It's
Is there a
3
shirt
layers
under your
other than
shirt?
Stephanie,
There
we
is.
needed a pee break, you said?
I do.
Let's take a pee break real
Let's do
quick,
it.
then we'll be right back.
Yeah, it's getting too real
Oh, whoa, I
for
can
me.
pause the recording. I don't even have to stop it.
Not Stephanie.
No wonder I can't get
Okay.
it to work.
Is there stuff in my teeth?
Probably. If your teeth had nothing like living on them, that would be really bad.
No, like
If everything was
is there
dead.
chunks of peaches in your teeth?
I was jealous.
There's not.
Do you still have some of those? Dude, oh my god, they're so good.
God, I got them at Grocery Outlet. I got like 5 bags.
Upcycled peaches.
They don't have anything on them.
Upcycled
They don't have. I didn't mean to say it like that. They don't have
No.
anything on them. So they're not like sulfur. There's no sugar. They're not. They're just kind of like at first like, okay, I wish they were better. And then it's like, oh, okay, this is just like what real food tastes like, and then it's cool.
They're ugly, but they're sweet. Like that girl at the bar that like I wasn't gonna go home with at 10, but then when 2 rolled around, it was like, fine, we're going.
I got to know you, and yeah, the beer goggles.
Sometimes, yeah.
I
Oh,
took the
you're
beer
so
goggles, and the beer
nice.
goggles are working.
From Pete's point of view, it's like, well, I didn't get anybody else, so you'll do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, I want my knees. Oh, but this is in my way. But I want to be warm.
Decisions.
Is this how I have to sit? Okay, never mind.
It's all an option. All right, so you just came out last night to perform at Blue Lake Casino. What was your experience like?
It was fun. I liked it. I truly enjoy a proper stage, I've discovered.
It's a really nice stage compared to a lot of the ones we got to go on.
Yeah, like I think it just probably, I don't know if it's just childhood, like from, doing plays and stuff and like theater, but it just, do you feel like a stage gives you even like an added layer of confidence because you're standing up higher than everyone else and you're just like a little bit better than them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had my boyfriend build me a stage when we first started salon shows. And it folds up and we could take it. And I was like, I know it's not like absolutely necessary in a situation like in a salon, but I need it.
Yeah.
I love a stage. Like
Yeah.
that stage is really pretty. And okay, I love the blue Sasquatch everywhere at that place.
Oh, Bluey.
Bluefoot.
I love it.
Bluefoot.
I love it. But no, it was really fun. I liked all the comedians. I really resonated the most with who's the redheaded guy.
Oh, Franco Tavini.
Yes, I really.
Tavini.
I liked everybody a lot, but like I just, how sometimes you're like, I got understood his a lot. It was good. I liked it. Thank you
Pete-
for having me.
Oh yeah.
Pete doesn't need a stage to feel he's better than everybody else.
I thought your character was great that you did last night. That was a good choice. It's really hard to do characters,
Is it?
Oh yeah, for me, like you just pull the character out. That's a really good character. And then the light up wheels, like where do you even?
Okay.
How do you even? Right?
So, as a hairdresser, you stand all day. We broke, all of us girls who've worked together forever, about 5-6 years ago, and got these saddle stools on wheels. And the saddle stool's more ergonomic to like posture, right? But we discovered that the regular office chair wheels, the hair would gather in them and get gumped up. So if you get rollerblade wheels on there, not only is it hella fun, it doesn't gather as much, right? And so we've been doing the rollerblade wheel thing forever. Now, I was at a flea market in town like just a few weeks ago, and I saw this stool that was like, someone had reupholstered it, and it's got like skulls and roses on it, and it's on wheels, and I'm like, oh, I need that. And then I went online to get the usual rollerblade wheels, and I'm like, they make fucking light up wheels? Are you serious? Gotta have it. And I started doing characters out of necessity. in October. I have seasonal depression really bad, and I ended up canceling a show on a friend, and I was like, I'm so sorry, but thankfully she is a therapist, so she fully understands, you know, depression, bipolar stuff, all those things. But I was like, if this is what I want to do with my life, I can't be canceling shows because of this issue. So how do I deal with it? And I was like, I will perform depressed. I will create a character that is a pessimistic Debbie Downer that wears pajamas and is disheveled. And for some reason, when I came out, she was just like from like the Bronx in New York or something like that, and she was just rough around the edges. And my family is Italian, but we're from like San Francisco Italians, but we do have ties to the mafia too. Like did a long time ago. My dad has stories, right? But like that's what they all say, right? But anyway, because when I first started doing comedy, you're super unconfident, you don't know what you're doing. But my mom was like, what's the advice people say? Like, if you can't be funny, be interesting. My mom says, if you can't be funny, be pretty. And so she's like, you're a cosmetologist, just like do everything. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna look like as good as I can, right? But then when the seasonal depression hits, I'm like, I can't shower. I can't function. I can't, how do I look cute? What do I do? So I created this character, and what's so cool is characters will say things that you wouldn't say, or they can say things you've always wanted to say that you shouldn't say. And so what was kind of hard for me at first was realizing that I was funnier as a character, and like Stephanie wasn't, I didn't feel like hit as hard, and I would do Stephanie's jokes as these characters, and it was just so much better. But it was better because I was more confident and I wasn't Stephanie, and so I didn't feel like people were watching me. And like when you're new to it, like I remember for like the first 5 shows I did, I'd get off stage and I'm like, what happened? I didn't remember anything that I said. I don't know if people laughed. I don't remember seeing people there. Like what, it was a blank thing. And then you'd like watch a video that it was like, oh, okay, part was good. That was not whatever new. But when I would watch the characters, it's like just so much, the stage presence is more, everything was better. And I was like, that kind of sucks that like I'm not that good, but they are. But in doing the characters, it has made me more confident, so now I'm getting more confident when I perform as me as a result of the character, if that makes sense. I don't know. Yeah.
No, I love it, and it's really funny and fun to see people like go that far into the art in that way, because I feel like a lot of comedians trip themselves up trying to look a certain way and then don't even realize that, like, you know, honestly, if you just channel the right energy, you don't even have to have anything pre-written on stage. You just go up and be a goof.
Yeah.
And a lot of it can, like, just come right out of you organically.
You need to be, like, I'm discovering with comedy, like, you need to be really, really, really okay with who you are, because you're going to piss somebody off at some point, and you can't let that get to you. And I feel like once I turned 40, then like a lot of women will say this, like you finally feel like you have the privilege to fucking just be who the fuck you've always been, but you've been hiding. And so like I'm still finding like who I am, and so I'm like, can I say that? What if someone's feelings get hurt? Like what if, you know, and like I worry too much about it still. And so like I'm able to just kind of get out some of the stuff I want to do like through the characters. I'm still trying to find, like, I know I'm really super new to this, so like I have this, I can just explore and do kind of whatever I want and find my way and my style. But it's so nice to just throw a wig on and like not have to do your hair and not have to worry about like, okay, fuck, like for instance right now, like I'm due for Botox every 4 months. Like my fucking eyelids look like foreskins and fall down. I'm like, I don't want to be on stage with that right now. And like, so then you just put a visor on, or like you could wear a ponytail like really tight, but my hair's short right now, so I can't like hold your face up. So I think for girls, maybe it's like, not all girls, but if you've been in the beauty industry since, like I got my license to do hair at 17. So I've been in this industry of like, you need to look this way and all these things. And so like, I gotta get that like out, and like, it's not about, and that goes away as you get older. It's like, you just have to be funny. Like ugly ass people do comedy all the time. Just be funny, right? But my mom said, if you can't be funny, be pretty, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's sound advice.
That's
It's
what I
sound
try
advice.
to do too. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
you look very pretty last night.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, you just distract. You know, that's.
And part of it is like a fake it till you make it thing too, because like one of my friends had told me, she's like, if I can come out on stage and make a presence with what I'm wearing, at least it's grabbing the audience's attention,
Yeah.
first thing, and so you have, and I was like, okay, cool. So light up wheels grab attention
Are you
on
gonna
the
be?
stage.
What do you think you gonna be going on tonight? With a different set of material or one of the same sets of material?
Okay, so what is going on tonight exactly? There's an open mic.
Yeah.
What? Where?
It's over at the Arcade Vets Hall. We
Okay.
call it closed mic.
So I haven't even thought about it yet, but I want to probably just be me. And how many minutes do we get?
Cause you're from out of town, you can do however long you want.
Okay, I love a short and sweet. I don't want to do that a lot.
We need 40 minutes out of you, or else you're never getting
Well,
booked
you
here
see, I
again.
can talk a lot. I kind of have, I don't know, is it like not a good idea when you're out of town to try to work out new stuff and maybe stick that with your hometown? Because I have like new ideas that I thought of on the way here, so I thought about trying that. But other stuff, but I don't really care about trying to impress people that much either. But do I need to?
I think it's
If
the
I'm
opposite.
going to be possibly moving here.
You do your, oh, well, that's different. I was gonna say, you do your, experimental stuff out of town. You
You
don't
do?
do it where you live. But if you're moving here, you might want to think twice.
Well, because my husband, okay, so like when you've dated someone for nearly a decade and you're fucking 40, how old am I? 1, 2, 41, almost
25,
40. I think
right?
I'm almost 42. When you say I have a boyfriend, like doesn't that sound dumb? But like we're not married, and because I'm like partially, I'm on the autism spectrum, like I feel like I'm lying, like he's my husband, but we're not really married. But like, why do I have to specify that? No one's checking papers.
I was gonna say, why is
But
it
I was like,
anybody's business?
and then also at 10 years, it's like, no, we should get rings now. Like, I think, I like sparkly stuff still. I don't know. Just, like, what do you call what's the proper word for, like, long-term? I hate partner. My partner.
What do you
Long-term.
say?
Like, old man.
Well, she's my lady.
My lady.
Yeah.
What's that song?
Her Majesty.
Lady.
Yeah, Sticks. That's such a good song.
Never listened to them.
What? You didn't listen to Sticks? Sticks is so good.
No. That was my Led Zeppelin, AC/DC,
Yeah. Yeah, Strict Limits.
the whole, whatever, the Who.
Is that a pot of crabs? Corns. That's corns.
Corn. Yeah, it's a cornucopia.
It's
A cornucopia.
well, it looks like, and it's orange, right? So it looks crab. Like, do you see the corns in the bucket? You have a screen in your way. It's above the
I
pumpkins.
see it. Yeah, it does look like a crab.
It looks
You're
like
right.
a crab boil ready to go with pumpkin. It's a pilgrim crab boil. That sounds hella good. That's got to be around here somewhere, right?
Lobster.
Everywhere.
Crabs?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's got crabs here. The whole community has crabs. It's very easy to get crabs. If you don't have crabs, you can just like brush up against the person next to you, and they'll be like, "Here, have my crabs. I've got crabs for you."
Oh, crabs. Do you want to know a fun fact about genital crabs? So back in, let's say, 1800s, like whorehouse days, right? This is true. So pubic hair was like fashionable, was preferred. However, the whores would contract the lice, and you couldn't have the hair because of the lice, correct? But because it was desired to have hair, they got beaver pelts and like made a little, like they tied around the waist so like it would hang like a little loincloth that just like, like a triangle, whatever.
And
that's
beaver.
called a merkin, and there were merkin makers, and it was a thing. And like what I want to know is, did the barbers, because barbers used to be master wig makers and stuff, and they used to do like the powder wigs and shit for people too. Did the barbers make the merkins?
That's the side hustle.
I want to know.
Dr. Merkin, MD.
Barber history is actually very,
Working
very
on your merkin.
interesting. Yeah, jerking the merkin.
Merkin,
Are you jerking my merkin right now?
You know about how the vibrator was invented, right?
Because
I know it's supposed to be millions of years old.
Millions, huh?
Millions.
A 1,000,000-year-old vibrator would totally baffle scientists.
Well, there's
I'm sure.
dildos for sure that are like sculpted and chiseled and whittled and whatnot, like artifactual, like those,
That's
but
my
actual
husband.
electric vibrator for clitoral stimulation. Do you know how and why the story?
That
do you
was
know
like
the story behind it?
doctors would use it on female patients that were having hysterical issues.
Yes. So basically, what I'm gathering is the husband couldn't find the didn't the women were not orgasming. There was no release. They would be diagnosed with like this hysterical, basically anxiety, and the doctor would manually rub the clitoris for so long until it would happen, and then they would be
Carpal
relieved.
tunnel.
So the men would like pay the doctor, okay, fix my wife, go. So I'm like, why are women getting mad that men get happy ending massage parlor massages when the men used to send their wife off to the doctor? How, like, I had carpal tunnel. I was like, I have a joke about, I'll send my boyfriend to the happy ending, I'll get him a happy end gift card for Valentine's Day, because like, let's do a couples massage. Why should either of us do work on Valentine's Day?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
the massage
we
person's
just
like
let's
both at the
outsource,
same time.
like, you get a housekeeper, like, let's just like on one day a year, like, let's let someone else do it, and we just lay back and relax, and like nobody has to do anything. It's kind of like, and like, I mean, I guess there's call girls, but like that's a lot. Just.
Yeah, you want to know the person. You need to be a little in love, right?
Gosh. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, the doctors were exhausted and fatigued by the end of the day by having to do this manually, so he developed a actual vibrating device so that it could be done better, whatever, stronger.
Yeah, I gotta go work on the farm.
When did this stop happen? Like, when did doctors quit? I want to know that. Like, was this, like, remember they used to lobotomize people too? Like,
Yeah.
That, they don't do that.
I think they just changed where they do it globally, but it just still goes on. It's like, oh, if you still want to be one of these kinds of doctors, you can go finger bang over in Tibet, They freed up this space. Probably not in Tibet, but,
But, like,
maybe.
were women not
Anywhere there's no electricity.
doing their own, like, you can do that yourself, but like they were probably just like, oh, Dr. So-and-so is so handsome.
I feel like everything should be bicycle powered. You should have a bicycle, you hook it up, and then you have like a vibrator that works off the bicycle, you have a blender that works off the bicycle, you have electricity, it works off the bicycle, all this shit,
You have to work for it.
Yeah.
Or
What
like,
does a doctor tell his wife? I'm really not enjoying this. I swear to God.
I always want to ask,
I'm
but
not
like,
enjoying this.
I've never actually had like a client that's a gynecologist. I've had other kinds of doctors, but like, I don't think it's appropriate when I'm getting a pap smear to ask the male doctor, how did you decide on gynecology? Because at some point during your, education, you have to pick one and go with it, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why one of my friends, she decided to be a nurse practitioner or a physician's assistant, because then you can do a lot of doctory things and you can move around and like different, like she does like surgeries and like she did like babies for a while and then she's like.
I want to be a reverse doctor where I just make you more sick and things worse.
Don't we have those?
I want to be an undoctor.
Already?
Yeah, there are a few medical serial
Isn't that
killers.
exactly what is going on?
Never heard of Dr. Shipman?
Oh.
Shipwreck?
Killed like 12 of his patients.
Whoa.
Just died in prison.
Who knows? Explain.
No, it's a doctor, and he just had a thing for killing his patients.
In what way?
He thought in his
How
mind
did he do
it
it?
was being, no, he just like put things in your IVs and make you die.
But were they people who wanted to die, like
Well,
a
in his
dignified
mind,
death, like Kevorkian stuff?
it's not like anybody asked. In his mind, he was doing them a favor. But
Oh, they didn't ask for the favor though.
yeah.
Oh, that's not cool. That's not cool. That's like date rape. They
That's
didn't ask for the
totally-
favor. They didn't ask for
very
the favor.
misleading.
I'm just saying.
Thank you for the dick. I
it is
didn't
out
ask.
there.
Like, no.
Thank you for the dick I didn't ask.
Well, say
God
date rape.
damn.
Like I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm equating date rape to date death or rape.
Luckily,
death.
he worked in England.
Hey,
so
life's tough. There's a lot.
There's a bunch of English people dying
no.
in this case, but
Do you believe in dignified death? That like if you have a terminal illness and you know you're gonna go out in a really horrific way, like I think we put dogs down. I think that you should have the choice to put yourself down.
no, I
It
call
should be
it a
Saki
Hunter
rules.
Thompson.
It should be sake rules. People can tell you that you have to die, but you can't ask.
You're like,
please, someone offer me compassionate death.
you're like acting out charades. I can't say it. I can't
Well,
ask
I
it.
don't understand
Sake
why.
rules are good.
Why is suicide a
Sake
crime?
rules.
I mean, if I'm dead, how are you going to hold me responsible?
Yeah, like,
And if I didn't succeed, wouldn't that mean I'm out of my fucking mind? So maybe
yes,
helping me might be a better idea?
Yes.
But
Yes.
while we're on it, Jesse, we've decided to put you down.
You're welcome to
Sake
try.
rules, sorry.
You know what I say? I say
Sake
if
rules.
you want that to be the last thing you do in this life, you go ahead. You
Can
go
we at least
right
put
ahead.
you on a Ozempic or something? Just kidding.
I don't know. The word's not. It's word's still out on that stuff. It's like 1 minute it had this particular, and then all of a sudden it was a weight loss drug, and now they're saying, maybe it's not so
What
good.
if you just have like a dart gun full of Ozempic and you just head out into the world and fire them at people? Is that like really? That's kind of judgmental to fire a Ozempic dart at a person, right?
Okay, remember that show where they would ambush people and they're like, you dress terribly, let us make you over? With Stacey and Clinton, it was like, your family would nominate you because you were so poorly dressed and ugly, and then they'd have these fashion people bombard you in a public way, like, hey, your family says you're hideous, come with us. Like, you're just
We're
like,
gonna help
you know what, I decided you're hideous, I need you to have some Ozempic, and boom, boom. That's...
Crikey!
There'd be people like, get me, I want some.
They should be afraid they're going to pick the wrong person. Your family said you were ugly.
You miss and hit like some skinny ass kid. And
Just stab them up.
My nail girl, so she has had great success with it, and over the summer, the kids eat us out of house and home, and she's like, line up, bitches, you're all getting Ozempic this summer, you'll never be hungry, I can't afford it. She didn't actually do it, but I was like, that's really funny.
Jesus, that's so funny.
No, Mom, don't do it.
Yes, that's the next generation of serial killers being born and raised.
Oh, God. Do you know anyone on Ozempic?
No, I don't.
I know a few.
I mean, if they are, they haven't admitted
Any
it.
horror stories?
No, but mainly everyone I know that's gone on Ozempic has been like, trying to lose weight and they don't have to, like they're perfectly healthy, and then they're like, I'm just trying to lose a little more weight. I'm like, why are you trying to eat? Ozempic is not for
Not
you.
for that.
And then they're like,
Oh, it's the new eating disorder drug?
Yeah, it could be. So I have this is my friend. This is so sad. So her husband cheated on her. We're 40. He cheated on her with a 25-year-old. So then it made her hella self-conscious, and her doctor, who's also her friend, was like, "Oh, I'm gonna give you a little Ozempic so you can lose that last 5 pounds because you know what, you just deserve it. I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fair. Like that's fair." But no. But okay, I have a friend who she legitimately was diagnosed pre-diabetic. It was advised that she do something. Her daughter's getting married in a few months. She did 2 days of it and was puking and shitting, projectile puke and shit at the same time. So what do? She started to puke in the toilet. Wrong choice. Projectiles the back end. It hits the shower curtain. She's all, I'm not taking this ever again. This is terrible. I'm like, oh.
I have heard that it does have adverse reactions for some people, and I mean shit. I'm so sure that there is so much of that going on. I've heard it from a few different people. Not that strokes have happened, but I'm sure there's all the different varieties of it.
I'd rather be fat.
Severe constipation
I'd
can
rather
be
be
another
fat.
side effect. Not the
I'd
diarrhea.
rather be fat.
Diarrhea runs in my genes.
I was going to say, he's eating all your peaches.
There's a fat and happy point. I've been fat and unhappy fat, where you're limited in mobility. Can I wipe my own ass anymore? Do I need one of those pinchy devices? Because your arm gets fat, and then your back rolls fat, and then your cheeks are deeper, and then you try to go in the front, and then the belly's there, and then I have boobs for a girl. Sometimes guys too, and so I was like, okay, this is a problem. And then standing barefoot, the weight of your own body on your bones of your feet, I couldn't stand barefoot. I needed a shoe, a cushion, something. And just I live in a cul-de-sac there's 2 cul-de-sacs and then there's like a mailbox in the middle for everyone, and I couldn't walk there without getting winded. And I was like, I can't play with my kids. And my other grandma, she's passed now, but she was morbidly obese. Like, wheelchair if you're going somewhere. Sitting in a, oversized recliner all day with your moo-moo hiked up, sitting on a puppy pee pad just to urinate at will. But if you have to shit, someone has to wheel you to the bathroom and wipe your ass. And then she just would do like puzzles all day long and then be like, hey, Stephanie, can you go to the fridge and I need you to get my insulin? And then, could you get my cheesecake, the whole thing, not just a slice, and a fork? Thank you. And I'm like, oh my God.
Die.
Then I was like, I'm going to be her. And so I was like, I have to do something about it. But I found that, like, what I wanted to weigh, like, wasn't a healthy weight because I, like, struggled with, anxiety, that too, anorexia in high school. Like, you have to find a healthy point. And, like, the BMI thing is bullshit because they saying at 5'6", I'm supposed to weigh 135 pounds. And I'm like 155 pounds. Yeah. And I was 135 pounds in high school when I was anorexic. And I had like hip bones sticking out. Why do you think those
BMIs are so far off too? That's like for
everyone. They're not
counting
counting muscle mass. So like I know people who are bodybuilders because they weigh so much. They're like, you're obese.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, no, I don't know why. It's weird. So I, like, my usual, like, set point, like, all through high school, like, when I quit growing at 5'6", my body likes to weigh, like, 160 pounds. And when I went to a weight loss doctor and they do your body mass for real, like, well, how much fat do you have? How much water do you have in your body? How many bones? Everything weighs a certain amount. And it's like, if you have more muscle, you weigh more. And I've always weighed more than people think that I would weigh. But, like, and you grew up in the 80s and 90s with these skinny... the Kate Mosses and this, like, you're fucking fat. That's so fat. And now that's why I don't like this Ozempic shit because, like, Christina Aguilera, she became a woman. We watched her go from high school to a woman. She's, like, a curvy woman. And then, yeah, she got pretty thick there for a while. But now she's thinner than when she was when she first started. And I'm like, are we going back to that pin-thin, no ass with the titties in the, top heavy... Because we went too far the other way in these recent years with the ass being weight. Like, ass was cool and it was good, and then it was, like, out of control. Where do we find the balance?
I think there's no ceiling to the amount of ass that I think belongs on any given, But I think you could keep going bigger and bigger and bigger.
God-given ass or fake ass? Doesn't matter.
Fake ass is, there's a reason we use that term. You got that fake ass shit going on. It's like, because a fake ass is just, it's deliberately misleading in a way that's meant to alter the state of the people looking at the ass. It's an ass move.
What do you mean fake ass? What is a fake ass?
People who, they get injections, like how people get lip injections to plump them, you can actually take your own fat also and suck it out of other areas and shove it in your ass and make it fatter and bigger. Like, you could suck your love handles out and put them in your butt. But the people...
Why would you want to do that?
But people get these chicken legs and then they put all this ass on top of it. And, like, you need more leg to support... Like,
they need less ass.
Like, I'm all for ass.
Go back to what you were born with.
I'm saying, if you have a lot of, like, natural ass, like, amen, but, like, there's a certain point where the fake ass is too fake and it looks weird and it, like, it's like fake boobs.
I just want to sit easier.
Fake boobs are great too until a certain point when they start to look too fake, I think, also. I don't know. That's my opinion.
It's sort of like that, what do you call it, where you have the, not the Dunning-Kruger effect, the other one, the uncanny valley, where you see something that looks too much like it looks so human, but like if something looks barely not human, then it gets really scary really quick to us, if it's not actually a human.
Like Elon Musk is not human, and like it's kind of scary.
If something's trying to deceive us and make it look like if it's wearing a skin suit.
Ew.
Yeah, see? Scary.
Or like when women remove the ribs and then their waist is abnormally tiny, that's scary.
I think that's so hot and scary, yeah. Both.
Hot and scary, okay. That's okay.
Hot and scary.
Whatever. It's your ribs, get rid of them.
Yeah.
Just protecting your internal organs. You don't need them. Fine.
If you had to get rid of one internal organ, which one would you get rid of?
I've already got rid of a couple.
But
if one that extra one,
from where you're at, one that you still have, including you, Jesse. Jesse would probably just get rid of his
does it
kidney
have
stones.
to be vital? I mean, if it's a vital organ, I can't say it.
I would get rid of my skin.
Oh, that's vital. Can you tell me why?
Because like if I successfully got rid of my skin and then just kept caring about like as normal life, it would be the most impressive thing. Everyone would be like, Peter, you're tougher than anyone I know. And I'd be like, hell yeah, look at me go. My stand-up comedy career would go crazy. People would be like, dude, have you seen that guy who has no skin?
The no skin comedian.
I would make so much money. People, I'd get so many women. They'd be like, "Oh my god, the no skin guy."
Everyone has a puke bucket at the show because you're so hideous, but he's so funny.
You have two separate lines to the door. One that says the skinless comedian. The other one says freak show.
What if
so you tap both?
What if all I had was a foreskin?
Wow.
That's what happens when you lose a lot of weight and get off Ozempic.
Your foreskin starts hanging super low.
That's for the freak show.
Got on if you do enough Ozempic, people will just look like foreskins.
Could you imagine, like the pissed off ex-girlfriend that comes and stabs her ex-boyfriend's dick with Ozempic and it gets all shrunk? You motherfucker! You know?
I told you had a small one.
You cheat on me for the last time.
You used to have a fat cock. Now you just have cock. You motherfucker.
You have cock. It's not even a full cock.
Yeah.
Cock.
You are girthless.
If I were to remove a body part, I don't know.
Let the jury.
I didn't know that the category was open to vital. Like a skin, like scientifically, if you took your skin off, you would leak out. It would be infection.
Would you get rid of your brain if you could get away with it?
Because I went to Wizard of Oz there. I'm like the heart, the brain, the if I only. Feet.
I'm just walking on like.
I tried to
eggshells.
walk on my hands again. I haven't done that since I was like a lot younger. It's really like you stand on your legs all day long and you're fine, and then like you stand on your hands for a little while and you gotta work on those arms. Oh, that's really, there's so many body parts now, there's too many to think of.
If you had an extra body part, which one would you want?
For a day, I want to wean.
Yeah.
I want to wean.
No, to tell you the truth,
I want to wean.
I saw YouTube and it's allegedly this guy had an extra leg and an extra penis. So he had two functional, what do you call them, peni?
Peni.
No offense to the prison
real?
gang by that name.
Does he have separate ball sacks or is it?
Oh my god.
They didn't get into that.
Uniball.
They just said two.
One ball but two dicks.
Functional. Peni. And I'm thinking in my twisted little head, does that mean he can fuck two women at the same time?
Do you know that opossum?
The ultimate cheater?
Yes, listen. He's opossum man. Opossums have twin peni. It's like a snake's tongue. It's two because the females have twin uteri in its vagina, one canal that forks Y off.
I want to be one of those.
And they beep twice the so see, I had my uterus removed, but like I have 5 kids. Like, you know how a lot of people are like, we're trying to get pregnant, I'm like, I'm always trying not to get pregnant, and our whole family's so fertile. So like, even when they took my uterus out, I'm like, what if I'm like have 2? There is cases where women have had 2 uteruses. I'm like, I will still get pregnant somehow, even if you take this from me.
But
it has, we're good.
Oh man, that's a level of paranoia I didn't think existed.
No, like, I thought I was done having kids after 3. Like, that's all. I always wanted 3 kids. I had 2 boys, and then I had my girl. I was, like, so good to go. And then you get fucking surprise twins because you missed your birth control for 1 fucking day. And you go elope in Tahoe a day. Like, I mean, nobody needs to have like that many kids.
I think we need
I'm
more
paranoid. I don't ever want that to happen again.
What's the opposite of having twins?
I don't know, what is it? Are you asking me?
Having half a kid?
Having a half brother?
I don't get it.
I don't know.
Oh,
not.
I get it. Like, a fetus that is half.
I don't know, maybe just legs walking around.
Yeah. Like, wait, it didn't make it.
Or maybe it did. Maybe
I'm
it
going
doesn't
dark.
have legs. I know this guy who doesn't have legs. He's pretty cool.
Was he born without them, or did he have them amputated?
Born without them. He's a stand-up comic locally.
Does he stand up on his dick?
He has-
Like, how does he stand
Oh,
up?
okay.
Apparently he's
yeah.
got a huge... But
Does it just look huge in comparison? Because
he's a
there's no-
huge dude that was born without legs, so he's like still like taller than some really short women, and
Okay.
they're just like, wow, like...
No, his upper
What are you
body
doing
looks
down
like
here?
he should be like 6 foot tall.
You know that, like, small little people, midgets, however you want to say it, little people, it's just the disorder of like your bone growth. It has nothing to do with your ween. Is not like bone growth. So like they will have normal sized members on a small person oftentimes. That's why they call them tripods.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Little people.
Normal's big
Yeah.
on some people.
Brad Williams.
Just shouting out
I
right
love
in between.
how conversations turn
Hey,
and
Pretty
they
put
go
his own
morph
name out
into
there.
other things. It's great.
Yeah, it happens pretty often here. Stephanie, you got some shows coming up.
I do.
What's your favorite venue to be working with?
So right now, the only venue that I personally work with is the Post Office Saloon in Redding, California, and that is officially my favorite one.
Oh yeah.
Leah, thank you for having me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I do. I have a show coming up at the Anderson BFW Hall.
Mm.
They're starting to do some entertainment stuff, and I'm going to be heading all that stuff up.
You're gonna be
soon.
beheading?
I'm going to be doing the
I'm
beheading.
going to.
Do you think they should bring back? I think they should bring back public hanging and like the beheadings.
Oh, I'll take it a step further. They should be stocks in the town square so we can throw like rotten vegetables at you.
Yeah,
For
that would be
penance.
good. Tarring and feathering would
Oh,
be good.
yeah.
Sherry Papini needs to be tarred and feathered for sure.
We
Burnt at
should-
the stake.
I think we should for all of this, unless they're super hot.
She's not even that hot. Are you trying to defend Sherry Papini
I
or
don't know what
just
she
in
looks
general?
like. Is she hot?
Okay, no, she just is like skinny and has bleached hair. She's not. But you know the story behind that? I won't even go there. It makes me too mad.
Yeah, maybe if she wasn't.
But you're right.
skinny.
Society thinks the way. She needs a fatter ass.
Yeah.
Society thinks the way you think. Like, oh, that's why
we
she
need to
only got
sentence
8
her.
months in prison for what she did. Oh, we can't.
Death by
can't.
Ozempic.
No, but pretty privilege is a thing. It is, and we let people off all the time.
I have no idea what you're
I
talking
know.
about.
No.
Jesse just stares off.
Asmodeus calls you a liar.
No, that makes me mad. That lady. Okay, we need to not talk about that anymore.
Oh yeah.
Next topic, Pete.
That's funny that the place is called the post office. I love the idea of being like able to, gotta say, I would love to get out and do some shows in Reading myself.
Come on
Yeah.
down.
It's gonna be. It's like close and
Anytime.
stuff. And then I was just talking to Trinity County Brewing Company again over in Weaverville, so it's just a short
That's where
little
I
trek
was
for you
born.
guys. Oh my God, that explains everything about you, doesn't it?
I want to start a club called The Hospital so I can play doctor.
Could you care to elaborate the rest of it?
No, I'm already in deep on that one. I don't need to take it any deeper.
Okay.
I want to play Dr. Deeper.
Dr. Deeper.
My name is Dr. Deeper. I'm a gynecologist.
Dude, how many gynecologists?
Would you like a finger?
Who's pointing?
I
that
won't
thing?
enjoy it, I
Don't
swear.
point that finger at me.
Oh my god, the gloved finger.
Which finger?
Yeah, that's some silly shit. Stephanie, as all over the place this podcast has been today, I really appreciate you making it out.
Thank
You
you.
can
Thank
tell
you,
we're
thank
like
you.
trying to do some stuff in the podcast,
I
right?
like
But
trying to do things.
I love, yeah, right. It's the best we can do. But I can't wait to have you back out and let you know as the future of some of these shows out here go on, some stuff that we can get you on in the future too. I thought your set's so funny. I can't wait to
Thank
see
you.
where you go from here.
And I'm so sorry I wasn't there now.
Yeah,
You should
Jesse.
be.
Yeah.
There'll be a
Somebody
next
has to do
time.
what he's supposed
There'll
to
be a
do.
next time.
I'll send you the link to his one and only ever stand-up comedy set he did
Okay.
once.
Awesome.
I will never do it again.
Yeah.
Hey, you gave it a try. That's awesome.
You
It's
gave
more
it a
than
try.
most.
Well, Until then, this is Pete Nelson. Today we had Stephanie Tuttle,
Possible Minnesotan.
possible Minnesotan, and Jesse Katz, local expert. We'll see you guys on a future episode of the
Bye.
OoOoh. Thank you guys.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh.